See me down here. How about up here? Not sure what's going on YouTube. It says 32 seconds, so seems about in time with this. How long has this one been going? Aha. Okay, so yeah, now I'm coming up. I don't know what the latency issue is though. All right, what, Scott? You were double talking, then you were gone. Poof. Oh, okay. So you are seeing me. I was wondering why nobody was commenting. Um, all right, well, I'm here. And apparently, as the YouTube one is going out, it's going out later. So I've got to figure out this latency issue. Stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. Excellent analytics. 2 chat rate, concurrent views. Okay. I'm not sure. Stream settings. Let's see. Auto start, auto stop, blah, blah, blah. Stream latency. Stream latency. Normal latency. I can't change the latency apparently from here, from the studio. Anyhow, if you're out there and you're watching, I guess welcome. Sorry for all the bullcrap here, trying to get up and going. One of these days I'll have this shit figured out and I'll be a pro. I wish I had somebody who was a little more knowledgeable to help me with this shit so I could get it done before I go on. But yeah, guess I'm gonna have to watch some more of those video tutorials and figure this out. Yes. Yeah. Well, that was strange and annoying. Well, I'm glad you found it entertaining. So anyhow, thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Rockstar Ranch. You know who I am. If you don't, I'm Billy Painted Horse. So, kind of got shitty weather, so decided to go live today and say something. I don't know if any of you caught it last night, but I did, so I'm going to talk about it. Ye, formerly known as Kanye, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Nick Fuentes went on Tim Pool. And my gut instinct said it was going to be a shit show, and it was going to be something was going to happen sooner in the broadcast than later, and it did. What I saw, just what I observed, was he's under a lot of pressure. Like, bro is losing money, he's losing support, he's losing a lot of sleep, it looks like. And he's getting grifted on. He's getting played by Milo, and I don't know what Nick Fuentes' deal is. If he's just grifting for the fame, for the rub, for the I don't know. I honestly I couldn't tell you right off bat what, because I don't know much about Nick Fuentes. I do know though that Milo Yiannopoulos has stated that his ultimate goal is to destroy the Republican Party and Donald Trump on his way out, because of what happened to him when he got canceled. So he's a very vengeful narcissist, and that should concern people, because the man obviously has pull. He has, what do you call it, influence, I guess. And he's on a fucking vendetta. He's on a mission. And so if you guys want to jump in on the chat here, I've got it open. Here, I'm just gonna say, here I am. There. So I chatted. I don't know if I'm not seeing anything in the chat here. So if you're out there, feel free to join in. I can't see you at the moment. But I kind of got what Ye was trying to say is that there's a certain mindset amongst people in the industry, regardless of what their last names or bloodlines are. There's just this. You're dealing with lawyers. Um, Politics and entertainment industry are rife with them. Uh, so you got to deal with these people, and they're fucking sharks. I mean, if you look at what going, if law was just, you could be able to walk into a courtroom and defend yourself against any charge without counsel, and walk away innocent if you're innocent. What they're taught is to get the win no matter what. So a defense attorney will get a murderer off if they can get him off. That's a win for them. Even if that person goes out and murders again, that's a win for them. Prosecutors they're going to get you no matter what. So they will throw 80 charges at you to get you to plead down to 14 because they want to get you. They want to get you. They want to get the win. It's all about the win. It's all about the numbers for them because they're ego driven. They're narcissists. They're sharks. And the entertainment industry, it's changed so much just in the time that I've been alive. It's incredible. But Kanye is one of these people that was brilliant in ways, but at the same time, you can see the naivety and his ignorance of certain aspects, like the law. But I mean, he's got this psycho dude from Canada, Pasternak, whatever this Harvey Pasternak, I think is his name. This guy wants to commit him and put him on lithium, and Jack Nicholson cuckoo nest his ass, and he's trying to explain that there are these people now that are trying to destroy him because he spoke up and had an opinion. And I think the weight of all of this is just I mean, at the end of the day, he's a sensitive human being. He's an empath, and you can just what I saw was like the weight of the fucking world on this guy. I think somebody should get him help. So there needs to be an intervention for him. He's admitted to being bipolar, so he's having that manic thing, and then he's going to swing. The pendulum's going to swing back, and it's going to be that abyss thing. And before he gets there, somebody, and I don't mean to take him and to commit him and dope him up. I mean, get him out of this shit. Get him away from the microphones and the cameras. Get him somewhere secluded for a while and just let him decompress. Because brother's about to blow up, man. I mean, he's, between the divorce and the kids and all the shit that went on with Pete Davidson and all that, and then this shit, and then I mean, it's just been on and on and on. And he got an album drop, and I'm kind of surprised. He just had an album drop. I'm surprised he's more focused on all this other shit than he is on promoting that and touring. But at the same time, I understand that he's a human being who has children that is looking at the world and seeing a lot of the shit that a lot of us are seeing, and he's going, "Yeah, I can't think about that right now. I got to focus on this." And so, in his heart of hearts, maybe he believes that he needs to step out there and do something. Unfortunately, we all know the odds of Donald John Trump getting elected were astronomical. Anybody thinking that Kanye West is going to get, come on, man, come on. This seems like subterfuge. It seems like distraction. It's not on his part, mind you, but being used. I'm not going to sit here and assume the affiliations of these people like Milo and Nick and who they might be funded by or working for, because I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions on people, and I'm a fucking nobody in Western Washington sitting here spitting opinions, so it doesn't really matter anyhow. But just as one human being who's an artist and understands that empathic energy sometimes that can overwhelm you, that bipolar mindset that can affect you, somebody needs to get him the fuck away from these people. They're poison. That's all I'm going to say about that. But him walking out on Tim Pool last night, brother, if you're ever going to establish yourself as someone who could lead America, I mean, you can be a genius and brilliant, but you can't be a pussy. I mean, you can be a demented fucking potato, but you can't be a pussy. You have to be willing to stand up and fight. You have to be willing to stand up and articulate your stance and your beliefs and why you believe the way you do with a legitimate, compassionate, and sincere message to try to make people understand if your intentions are good, if you're being sincere, if you're not being anti-Semitic or racist or misogynist or sexist or blah, 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 fascist, blah, 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 whatever ist word you want to pick today. The point being is that if you really believe that your stance is righteous, then articulate it. And if people question it, push back. You know? Like I say to people on the atheist trip, like, yeah, it's all good. You do that. But I had a very good friend. He was known as the Turtle Man. His name is Jerry. Lived up in Kirkland, Washington. Everybody knew him. He was like a turtle tortoise guy. The guy was brilliant. Very nice guy. He and I were really good friends. And we had dinner one night, and the conversation came up, and he asked me, why do you believe in a higher power? And I told him, I was like, after my experiences, I've never bought into the corporate structure of religion that men have corrupted. But the innate feeling that there's something more than this, that energy never dies, it just transfers, mutates, is reborn. I just believe there's something more than this, that this is just an experience. This isn't the end of experiences. This is just an experience. So I'm sorry, I've got like 7 thoughts going at once here. Sorry, if you watched the stream last night, you understand where I'm at. I'm saying, so I was looking at some book titles up here and got distracted. The fact that, though, he has such a hard time articulating what he's trying to say, seems to me like there's something going on there. I don't know if it's the drugs they gave him, because even people that see Britney Spears, after all of the shit that she was put through, she is certainly not the same girl that she was, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, right? She's just not, after the shit that they did to her, after her father and all, and the committing and the drugs. It's the drugs. Trust me, folks, when I tell you it's the drugs. Which brings me to a point. So we're finding out now. Stop getting esoteric on us. Oh, kiss my ass. Go peel me a grape. There's probably only one person watching, and it's you. But hey, thank you, buddy, for being there. I appreciate it. I find it fucking amazing how many people out here are gung-ho for this vaccine that are still wearing masks, still pushing the fucking vaccine like it's the right thing to do. They say now that more vaccinated people have died from COVID than people that aren't. Us purebloods, as it were. I find that interesting, and that simple fact alone should at least create pause, if not absolute what the fuckingness. But that being said, you do you, but I do recall, and it's funny now, because I will see many online now that will stand for the Chinese people. When you were telling us to fucking die. You were telling us to fucking die. Yeah, I don't want to rehash this, because like I said, Howard Stern, fuck you, and everyone like him, everyone that looks like him, and everyone that likes him. Okay, everyone that thinks like that big bird on fucking fentanyl piece of shit. fuck you. Shame on you and shame on you. And oh, speaking of shame, Arizona, shame on you. Arizona, shame on you. Man, I can't tell you how disappointed I am in the state of Arizona. But I did make this comment. I don't know if it was to my tenant or if it was to someone at work or if it was someone at the fucking gym, but I know I made this comment before the election ever came around. I said I find it interesting that Katie Hobbs is refusing to debate, is refusing to go out there and like really campaign, okay? But she's the one that is overseeing the election. It's almost like when you look at her on those certain interviews where she's got that smug look, it's like she knows she's going to win. She doesn't have to worry about it. Even though, once again, we saw the visual of like, that's the person, that's the one, that's leadership, that's it. No. And then all the shenanigans happen. Oh, God how fucking dare you question anything about that clean, pure, 100% legit election. To the point, it was so legitimate, they had to threaten members that if they didn't certify this bullshit, corrupted, banana republic fucking bullshit election, they were going to be charged with felonies and arrested. Where are we? What are we? I mean, honestly, and if you're supporting that, if you're really behind that, and I give a fuck who you vote for, who you root for, and if you are so willing to forego your children's future for the sake of your own blind hatred because you've been indoctrinated and told that those people over there want to kill you because they have a Trump flag in their yard. I can't wrap my head around the fucking retardedness of people that consider themselves to be intelligent. The low information, the no information, the hubris and arrogance. I have a friend, I won't name him, but I have a friend who has a wife who watches MSNBC and CNN. God bless him that they can live in the same house, because I know he knows better. But he ain't watching Fox, not solely. He's like a lot of us are. And it scares the shit out of the legacy media that I'm doing something like this. Because if I can get 3 of you to watch me and not watch them, that scares them, because that's 3 less eyes. That's 3 less streams of revenue on them. And they don't want that. It scares the shit out of them. But not only that, a lot of us on here, we can't afford, if we want to keep our viewers, if we want to build a viewership, we can't bullshit you. We can't, most of us can't. Now, some of these pieces of shit, like the Young Turks and, I won't go on, I don't even want to list their names because they're pieces of shit, and if they don't know it, that's really sad, because the lack of self-awareness by a lot of these people is another glaring problem in this country, that people don't realize that they're either ignorant, indoctrinated, or just self-righteous, clueless douchebags living in a fucking bubble. But just the complete lack of willingness to go, am I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I misled? Was I misinformed? What did someone tell me? Because the funny thing is like, all you people that are on the left that hate Trump and hate Trumpers and hate Republicans with all your heart and soul. Okay, I have someone in my life that's like that, and unfortunate, but patience and time, hopefully, because I believe in them enough to know that they got a good heart and a good head, and that hopefully they will seek the truth. I think Donald Trump is a walking piece of shit. But he's also a pretty decent fucking human being. I think I'm a walking piece of shit, but I'm also a decent human being. Do you get what I'm saying? You're probably a walking piece of shit too, but you're probably a decent human being too. We all have our moments. We have these things where we're not at our best, or we have situations we don't handle the best. I mean, Donald Trump has certainly had his fair share, but when you're in the spotlight all the time, it's going to happen. It's just amazing how it all seemed to compile after he ran for president rather than before, because he was everybody's favorite buddy billionaire to hang out with, or millionaire, whatever, until he came down that escalator and said, I'm running for president as a Republican. I thought that was a grift. I thought he was intent on destroying the Republican Party. To be quite honest, I thought Donald Trump was going in there to just bullhouse that fucking China shop. Just destroy him. That's what I thought he was doing. And I laughed because I didn't vote in 2016. I was in Arizona and I just didn't vote. I believe at that time in my mind, I still thought because of my previous conviction that I wouldn't be able to. So I put federal elections out of my head. I was more worried about weed being legalized. But I laughed when he got elected. But at the same time, I remember telling people down in Arizona, they fucked Bernie Sanders, and that's going to fuck them. And I'm like, they just basically told the people, we don't care who you want. She's the anointed one. And she, trust me, that was all Hillary's doing. That was all the Clintons. Now you can bet on that. I mean, and then they took Bernie in the back room, and we found out just how committed Bernie was to the movement. He wasn't. Bernie sold out in a heartbeat. Got himself a sports car and an oceanside house and said, fuck it, I'm out. And I mean, honestly, I think he would have wiped the floor with Trump. That's on the Democrats. The Republicans nominated Donald John Trump. The people, and here's the thing. Karma, what? I'm trying to do a live stream. Stop. She's over here. She's barking. She's demanding for food. That's how spoiled this little shit is. But the people wanted Donald Trump. And the Republicans said, okay. And they did. And they put him in there. And I'll be honest, first time in my life that I've ever seen someone in a political position actually fulfill the promises that they said they were going to do. And he started doing shit. And he did that with opposition from not only the opposite side of the aisle, but from within his own party, from within the fucking room that he was sitting in. They were lying to the man. They were fucking misleading him. They were filling his head with bullshit. They were mocking. I mean, and I thought to myself, if he achieved all of that with the economy and the military and the wall, the immigration, the remain in Mexico policy, if he was doing all of these things, even under that much opposition, what could the man do if people just said, all right, let's get behind the president again just one time and see what America can do, because we're sliding, man. I mean, I don't think China is going to feed us our lunch, but y'all better not sleep on India. Y'all better not sleep on India. Because everybody keeps going, China, 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 China. Well, India is developing, y'all. And India, they got their issues, but India ain't China. And India got 1 billion some people. And last time I checked, they handle most of your fucking tech calls. So y'all keep sleeping on India. India is developing big time. I don't know if you've seen their major cities, and it's huge. That continent, India is fucking huge. But there's other players that are coming up too that will, I mean, believe me, Russia would love to feed us our lunch, but there's something to be said about free market capitalism. And China even sees that because they have those things called EZs, the economic zones. And that being said, that's how they fund their communist bullshit, because they know they need money to be these assholes. Let me see here. Let me go read some comments here. It looks like one person has chimed in a lot. Let's see if I can open the chat up a little bit wider. Hang on here. Let me do this and There we go. Now I can read what you said. Getting all esoteric. Okay, purple or white. I don't even know what that means. Katie Hobbs knew she was going to win, like Gwen Stefani, with no doubt. Yep. Did I misunderstand what you said? Not walking. I got a nice ride. It would not have counted in Arizona anyway. China. So I've been working on it. I've been working on my Trump. So, okay. Don't want to get too far into the weeds. So what I saw was here's Playboy. Here's a New York Playboy. And wow, man, he was actually doing shit. So I was like, and then y'all got to understand something with me. I'm a Raiders fan for one reason. Because everybody fucking hated him. I'm not even kidding. I started rooting for the Oakland Raiders in 1976 when they stomped the shit out of Minnesota. I remember watching Chuck Foreman, number 44, the running back, standing on the sideline, crying because they had gone to Super Bowl. They were just like Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. They kept losing to Pittsburgh, and then I think Indianapolis or Baltimore, something like. But anyhow, they kept losing. God bless their hearts. I was fortunate enough to have one of them on my show back in the day when I first started doing the Water Boys, but one of the defensive guys. Anyhow, I remember watching the Raiders just stomp the shit out of them and thinking, wow. And I'm living in Richmond, Virginia, and everybody there is a Washington Redskins fan. And then if they weren't a Redskins fan, they were Cowboys fans. All right, I root for the Cowboys for a while. But that Super Bowl changed me. Watching that Super Bowl, I watched those silver and black uniforms go out there, and I just watched them maul, just destroy the Minnesota Vikings. And I went, that's my team. And I've been rooting for them ever since. I was 9 years old, and I've been rooting for them ever since. So back to the original point. When people hate someone or something so much, it intrigues me. I have to delve into it. I have to understand it. I have to know why. Because see, in the world of entertainment, there is one cardinal rule amongst everyone in the entertainment industry, one understanding, that indifference is death. If people love you, that's great. If people hate you, even fucking better. People love to hate watch, hate chat, hate share, hate retweet. They love to. But what people don't seem to understand a lot of times is when you're doing that, you're just blowing that person up. You're giving them the attention. Dennis Rodman was a master of it, okay? Howard Stern's, back in the day, they said the ratings come out. They asked people, they did surveys. They said, ask the people that, the 50% of the people that loved Howard Stern, they took a survey of that group, and they asked him, why do you keep watching? He said, well, he's outrageous, and we can't wait to hear what he says next. And they said, and then we asked the group of people on the other half that hate him, and we asked, why do you keep listening? And they said, because we want to hear what he says next. Okay, so they hated or loved Howard Stern. They hated or loved Dennis Rodman. So in the world of entertainment, when you want to pull numbers, indifference is death. So I've always been fascinated by the villains. Like, why do people become villains? Like, is it purposeful, misunderstanding? I mean, the James Gang, for instance. These were post-Civil War Confederates, just got beat, got humiliated. Come back. Now the government's really, you got the, where you're getting, the world is changing dramatically. The Industrial Revolution is blowing up, right? And it's a whole different world. But at the same time, you got all this corruption amongst bankers and politicians. Now, Robin Hood was a fucking hero. Jesse James, well, he was too, just not to the law. But for some reason, we want to say that if they've indoctrinated enough of us, I guess, to think that if you're against law enforcement, you're a villain, you're a criminal. Even if the law is really the villainous criminals. Don't let the details get in the way of a good bullshit story. My point being is, I started looking at the Golden Douche from New York and thinking, wow, this guy ain't that bad, actually. And I saw a video. It was a poor, homeless black woman, drug addict, who squatted in one of his rooms in Trump Tower in New York. She's been getting 3 meals a day, room service, gets help and everything, but Trump said, just let her stay there. She's been there now. Somebody can correct me, but she's been there for years. Nicholson and Easy Rider said they hate you because of what you represent, freedom. Exactly, Scott. Exactly. I think what happened is the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum agenda, everything, it got wrecked by Trump. It pissed him off. And the thing is he knew he was partying with them, so he got them when they were drunk and high and all loose and comfortable and everything, and thinking he's just one of them and all. And he's heard all of the shit. He's seen who these people really are. And he probably, more so than many of us, saw how the game is played, how it's set up against Americans, basically, and how a lot of it was just like they were saying this and doing this. And, we're going to create jobs while we ship them out to fucking China. I don't want to go off on a George Carlin rant here, but God, just watch George Carlin. Just listen to George Carlin. He was warning us for decades. The government is nothing but a bunch of corrupt prick fucking law school graduates. They're all in a club. Don't you get it? It's a club, right? You have to join, and that's why you see these flashes that come in. I want to change. Like, no, you ain't. Okay, no, I'm not. Or, yes, I am. No, boom. Back out to the stratosphere. You're gone. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, you see these people, it's like there's these compromises they have to make to get anything done. And then people say, oh, did you see they voted yes on this or they voted no on that? Well, no, I voted no on that. Like, this one thing they were trying to paint on the Republicans, like, they said no to veterans and, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. They said no to the bill with all the other bullshit you were trying to slip in there. And you want to say, oh, see, they don't want, that's such crap. And as Americans, regardless of your political leader, you should be fucking so insulted and pissed off and done with this shit. And I don't understand why there aren't enough of us pissed off enough, angry enough, and fed up enough to make them fucking worry. It's the complacency that permeates this country and our people that I don't know if we deserve to survive, because if you're willing to lay down, if you're willing to give up one right, why not give up all of them? What's the fucking point? If you're willing to give these evil, power-hungry, self-serving, devil-worshipping pieces of shit one fucking inch, why don't you give them the mile? It doesn't make any sense. They weren't put into position to lord over us, to control us. They were put into position to fucking serve us. And are they? Do you really feel served, Democrats, liberals, lefties? Do you feel like the people that you're voting blue no matter who for, do you really feel like you're being served by them? Do you really? Or do you think they're just lip servicing you, bullshitting you until the next go round when they come back around going, we need money again for the campaign. Come on, you don't want those evil Republicans getting the office. Otherwise, we won't be able to do what we told you we were going to do the last 6 fucking times that we came with our hand out. So you keep buying the bullshit. And I know I got friends out here like Robbie Radford from high school, who's a libertarian, staunch libertarian, and I appreciate that. But I have my issues with the libertarians too, because there's some things that I don't agree with. The pro-life thing, I'm off. I'm off on that. And certain elements of the drug culture, the drug war, because I've been fucking this deep in it. And I've seen the sinister side of this, legalize it all thing that they're trying to do. I don't know, man. I don't believe incarceration and thrown in with people where they can learn to become better, smarter criminals and build muscle to where it's harder to subdue them. But honestly, man, the whole back and forth with people, it's just incredible how easily controlled and manipulated a lot of us are. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Davis, yeah, well, that's going back a ways, Scott. Line item veto needs to be something. Term limits need to be something. No more lobbying needs to be something, folks. We are not a democracy. We've never been a democracy. We've been a republic, a representative democracy, which has pretty much shown its corruptibility too. But I'm all open if you've got a better idea for a better system. Trust me, I'm all ears. But if what we have, if what the founding fathers gave us is what we have to, the framework, the Constitution is what we have to work within, which I'm okay, I'm good with that. Okay, let's work within that. But they've taken that thing and wiped their ass with it and thrown it in the recycling bin like it's just another fucking paper. And unless something changes these people have no incentive to change. We do not give them incentive to change. Peaceful revolution denied assures violent revolution, right? So, come here. So, with that being said, there has to be some significant changes in the way politicians, there should never be the word career and politician in the same fucking sentence, ever. There's octogenarians determining our future for the next decade or two. They'll be fucking dead. They won't have to reap the whirlwind from their bullshit policies. We will. Our children will. Our grandchildren will. But we just keep saying, well, I can't do nothing about it. The fuck you can't. But you're too worried about the guy over here with the Trump flag in your yard. He's your enemy. No, he's not. He can't trust them or stand them pricks any more than you can. And it's like, going back to the Kanye thing, people are all upset because he's trying to speak about a group of people and lump them all in and swash them with one wide brush, which seems to be quite indicative of the other side of the aisle. Karma? But I understand that some politicians are good, are in there for the right reasons. Okay. I say give it time. That's where I'm at with them. Because I don't trust any of them anymore. I don't trust anybody that has an R or D at the end of their name. I'm having a hard time trusting any of them that have I's at the end of their name. Because they all seem to get in there and realize that it's a real moneymaker if you just play along. If you're just willing to look the other way or just go against your conscience just this once. Okay, maybe again. All right. Pretty soon it gets to the point where it's like, whatever, just sign it. I mean, and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I've only spent 55 years on this rock spinning around a fucking glowing ball in the sky. What do I know? I've just been observing what has happened in this country for the last half century. Because I was 5 years old. I remember when the Nixon shit was happening. I remember when he got elected. I was 5 years old in 72. I remember when Nixon came into office. I also remember all of the Watergate shit. I remember because it was huge. It was on the TV all the time. Okay, so politics was ingrained in us, Gen Xers. And shit, even the boomers had to deal with Kennedy's a president in their lifetime is assassinated and brought, not in the fucking darkness of a theater during showtime. No, in broad daylight in front of God and everyone in Dallas, Texas. The audacity, the balls to kill a fucking president. They were telling us then, you ain't shit. We do what we want, when we want, and if you cross us, we'll take you out. They took out two Kennedys. They took out a president and an attorney general. If those weren't the shot across the bow and the full blow to the fucking hull, I don't know what we've been waiting for. But even the boomers had to deal with that. The Gen Xers, we got the Nixon, the Watergate shit, right? Then we got, I guess we got Carter's. We know, right, Gen Xers, we watched our parents struggle, right? We remember. We remember watching people line up for gas. We remember people trying to decide where they're going to spend their money on groceries. And, we remember because Jimmy Carter was an absolutely horrible fucking president when it came to domestic policy. International policy, he's a wonderful guy. He knew that sweet Southern drawl and Christian, mindset of his. He was a sweet darling of a man, and he was very kind, and he was wonderful dealing with people from foreign countries, and that's why he's a wonderful diplomat for America Day, but he was a shit president. And in the same breath, I can say that he has literally been outdone by the most corrupt piece of shit I've ever seen in office, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot, because the Bushes are just, they make Satan wait to get into the club. And the Clintons, the body count alone should make you stop and take notice of that. And that being said, this guy in office right now is just like, it feels like he is literally trying to destroy this country. And then make you feel like you're the villain, you're wacko, you're out of your fucking mind if you question it. Somehow you're a bigot, you're a racist. Let me speak on that. I'm real happy that we're living in a country now, too, by the way, where a press secretary who can be from another country and be all of the things that they are can come over here, get up there, and lie to you and tell literally half the fucking country that were born, raised here, that served in the military or served in other ways to defend this country or to serve this country and serve their communities, that because you don't see things her fucking way, you're un-American and a threat to democracy. Okay. Like, I'm glad that we are giving high positions like that to people who are challenged intellectually, but fuck, really? And Trevor Noah, you carry your ass back to South Africa, and Corinne Jean-Pierre, just whenever, fucking kick rocks, because I'm sick of fucking people telling us because we don't agree with them somehow or another we should leave. Are you kidding me? You gonna tell me with the blood in my fucking veins that I can't stick around because I don't see things the way... Okay. Yeah, you might want to do some recon on that one, soldier. That shit don't work for me. I'm sorry. Fuck you. As one person I just mentioned said years ago, we have the right to dissent. We're Americans. It's our right to dissent and question any administration. That was Hillary Clinton, okay? In case some of you are unaware, but that's what she said. We're Americans. We have the right to dissent. We have the right to question administrations, elections. I know it's the internet and it's this whole gaslighting astroturfing, blatantly fucking lying ability that is people are able to perpetrate on here. But they can also do it like Joy Reid. Joy Reid, if you're watching Joy Reid, I'm sorry, you're being lied to. Okay? You twist it any way you want. I'm black, native, and white. I've done my research. I've read my history. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. I was compelled to know why all these people hated me and loved me at the same fucking time. So I went and did my history. I read. I know what the fuck happened. So don't come at me with your fee-fees. Come at me with facts if you think you're going to educate me on something. But oh man, I'm just, I'm beside myself with this shit. And anyhow, I wanted to get back to a few points. Some of you out there maybe saw, I'm so sick of politics right now, and there's going to be another election here anytime now. We're going to be all back at each other's fucking throats, and it's going to be over stupid shit. And if any of you out there have issues with the words that I use, I would encourage you to pick up a dictionary. Similar to, I have one around here somewhere. But yeah, grab a dictionary and look up, or just go on your smartphone and speak the word into Google, or you can type it in case you don't want to say it out loud. And see what the definition of the word is outside of the projecting offensive connotation that you give it when you want it, when you hear me say it and you're trying to attribute that uncomfortable, awkward, fucked up feeling that you have onto me because you see the world this way, so I must too. So if I use a word that you feel it has this meaning, but I'm actually using with the legitimate definitions of somehow or another, fuck you. Okay, that's just where I'm at with that. Fuck that. Fuck you. Learn. Go educate yourself, because a lot of these words have other meanings than the ones you're giving them. But this Balenciaga thing, have you guys seen this? Like, some of you probably have. So this clothing fashion line that Kim Kardashian apparently, she's questioning her association with them after. Man, the woman got children and she's got to question whether she wants to continue her relationship. Yeah, because hey, give me just a moment, please. Sorry about that, folks. So the little princess had the laundry basket was in front of the doggy door flap, and she just, I guess, couldn't find it to move it out of the way. Anyhow, what's ick? What's ick, Scott? The Balenciaga thing. Maybe that's what you're saying, ick to. I mean, this is just news, so I'll talk about it. The imagery that I've seen from that Volkova, their main designer or whatever, I mean, she looks like she would be the high priestess at a Baphomet get together. I'm just saying, she looks like the bitch in the Indiana Jones movie, standing up there on the pulpit, or the Mummy or whatever, something like that. I don't know, maybe Red Skull or some shit. But she looks like that. She looks like those kinky Germans that I used to warn people about. Like, watch out for those, man. They're kinky. But yeah, the Balenciaga thing is disturbing. Now, there's some stuff that's shown up in the pictures, apparently. There's very disturbing Chimo stuff going on, I guess. But there's more to it. There's like these Easter eggs. There's these little, I don't know what you call them. Somebody put this shit in there. Somebody inside is trying to scream out a message, or they're just trying to say, bet people won't even notice. because nobody on the internet goes and looks into shit to see. I imagine there'll be enough people looking into the titles of the books back here just to see if they can find that one by Albert Speer. I think he's over there actually. Yeah. So never mind, you won't see it. But somebody will try to find it. But he raised this. Yeah, I read a lot of books. That's why I am the way I am. But they had a book title or some kind of book in the background. Then there was another picture with like a diploma for this guy John Phillips Fisher, I think, who did some really messed up stuff to his I think daughter when she was 40 or when he was 40. I don't know the details, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. I just know bits and pieces of it because, like I said, the story's kind of new. At least it's new to me, and like in the last few days here that I've heard about it. But as this story was coming through, and I was looking at it on my phone yesterday, and I'm walking through Walmart, I look over, and there's the T-shirts. They got over in the men's clothing, whatever. And I always go over there to see the clearance if there's anything cool, and there's T-shirt there, and it's the Hellfire Club, and it's got a picture of the devil on T-shirt, and it's Hellfire Club. And then on the other side, there's Venom, and it's, Venom's face, and it says, "We are Venom." And then there's a picture of Tupac, right? There's Tupac, and then it says, "Trust nobody." And I'm like, now, y'all tripping over Balenciaga, and I gotta wonder, like, and I get it, I understand that the imagery there, it's disturbing. It's disturbing mainly to the adults that are seeing it. Because honestly, how many children do you think are actually seeing the Balenciaga catalog or that shit? It's adult driven shit, and they're probably going for an audience of people who are, if not flat out atheist, Satanist, or other religious persuasions. And I was thinking to myself, it's amazing because they will distract you with that, and if you stop to think about it for just a moment, you realize, wow, a lot of kids probably won't see that. But walking through Walmart right now at Christmas time with mom and dad, hopefully, the exposure to the imagery and the message, it's all about the message. I couldn't help but wonder, like, anyone, no one. This bitch with the red hair and the red leather, dominatrix thing or whatever, looking like, in the red babies in her arm, red plastic, whatever they are, just looking like Satan's bride, like. They all like people like, whoa, oh, jeez, oh, they go, oh, they're gonna bring out the cross, and so I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's twisted, but that's adults making adult decisions, buying adult stuff, and getting themselves involved in adult shit. And like I said, back to the atheist thing, it's cool if you want to be an atheist, because at the end of the day, like I told my friend Jerry, we had a talk one night at dinner, and I said to him, look, Jerry, we're in a car, we're driving down the freeway, we're doing 70 miles an hour, we're having a good time, and all of a sudden a semi coming across the other side doing 80 miles an hour, and we ain't stopping. Ain't nobody gonna be able to stop in time, and we're done. And we go out. If you're right and I'm wrong, what have I lost? Joe, you can probably continue the conversation in your own head from this point. I probably don't even need to tell you what I said after that, but you go ahead. And like I said, to each their own. It's your path, man. You've got to walk it. No one else can. So, that being said, I'm like, okay, yeah, these are adults buying adult shit, adult clothing, getting involved in adult shit, and that's on them. And we all accept, we allow certain things. There are people that have created some great stuff that many of us will not forego, even though we know that they were really fucked up individuals. It's these allowances, right, that we make and I'm fascinated by it that, you know, people will vilify and condemn something in one breath, but then turn around and acknowledge the greatness of the product that they created. I Alyssa Milano's perfect example. She pretty much couldn't get Elon's out of her mouth long enough to catch her breath over her Tesla when she bought it. But then he buys Twitter and allows some people on that she doesn't like, and now he's Hitler, he's Satan, he's the Antichrist, and he's gonna kill us all. Man, I mean, who the fuck are these people? I'm so disappointed because I used to adore her. God, I actually thought about getting her tattooed on me at one time. I was gonna get like one of her sexy, just didn't. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't do that. I did get Jamie Presley though, but she ain't. You know, I think Jamie Presley is based. I hope, because she's a Southern girl, and she's aged pretty well too, I have to say. But yeah, at least Jamie Presley ain't piped up talking no dumb shit. I don't know why Alyssa Milano feels compelled to share her fucking opinions that are so unfounded, so uneducated, so misinformed, uninformed, and she just makes herself look so fucking stupid. And I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of these people are about legacies, and they just are destroying them on social media. It's just like they need handlers to just go, okay, no more Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. None of that. No more today. No Instagram. No posting. No. Nobody cares about your opinion. Just go shut the fuck up and watch TV. I mean, hire me, Hollywood. Let me come and slap some sense into you dumb motherfuckers. Because some of y'all really need handlers like me to go, no, sit down, shut the fuck. No, you're not going to post that. Do not post that. If you post that, I'm going to drag you outside and beat the shit out of you. Like, honestly, man, y'all just like, y'all need somebody better than who you've got, because y'all are fucking screwing the pooch in Hollywood, babe. Anyhow, the whole Balenciaga thing, like I said, just sort of made me chuckle when I saw the shit at Walmart. You're missing the forest for the trees, folks. Like, if you're worried about satanic imagery in your children, maybe you should be looking at the shit that's like propped up. I mean, look at the toys, look at the clothing, and look at what the kids are being sold, what they're being pushed on. Like, all about the message. So anyhow, I won my fantasy football league game this week. Just thought I'd share that with people who don't give a shit. I still have not gotten the proper case for my phone, and there was something else that was going on that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Yeah, Alyssa Milano, she's just a trip. The Kanye situation that I was talking about earlier. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Somebody was asking me. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. At this point, it would seem like the grift is up. Like, most people have to be aware by now that Milo is on a revenge trip. So this ain't about helping Kanye legitimately run for president. This is about creating storylines like Trump entertained a Nazi or a anti-Semite and a Nazi, white nationalist, whatever that Nick Fuentes is. I don't recall how Hispanics are white supremacists, but somehow or another they've managed to work their way around to that. Although Nick Fuentes does look white, and that's just, just another one of those things, you can't put melanin into the equation on somebody's race just because they don't have a certain amount or they have an excessive amount. It doesn't mean it's redundant. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out because at at a certain point, speaking of having to have good people around him, Trump should really get some better people around him too, because he has not been really batting 1,000 when it comes to surrounding himself with the best people, giving him the best advice. And I mean, that first term, that should have been a major learning. I don't know if a dog that old can learn a new trick, but that had to be at least eye-opening for him to see, like, you really need to vet people. You really need to know who the fuck you're bringing into your inner circle. Because that last crew, man, with the exception of a few, they were just shit. They were just backstabbing little, I would almost say traitors, but I don't want to use that word too loosely, like they do with other words these days. But yeah, I'm just interested to see how this all works out. Speaking of traders, though, I still believe that Chinese hemp should be swung over Chesapeake timber for people like Eric Swalwell. And I mean, once again, folks, ask yourself this. With the tens of billions of dollars that we've sent to that corrupt, lying, almost got us into World War III over a bullshit missile attack, piece of shit in Ukraine, they want to track you on $600 transactions on Venmo and PayPal and shit. Do you know where the money went? Do you know where every dollar... They can't tell you where every dollar went of that money we sent over there. They can't tell you where every bullet and missile and gun and tank and anti-aircraft equipment went. They can't tell you. But they want to know when you make $600 or more transaction. And you're sitting here right now going, it's cost me more than double to fill my gas tank. It's cost me 60% more on my grocery bill a month. It's, everything is going up, man, because everybody else is getting hit. So everything's going up. And you're thinking to yourself, man, this is really tough. Boy, we're going to have to tighten up. We're going to have to, budget and combat. We're going to have to start eating canned soup and shit. And all I'm saying is, when you're a corrupt, self-serving, traitorous, treasonous group of individuals that have sold America out to foreign interests, and you have biolabs and other investments and dirty little secrets stashed away in that foreign country that's known to be the most corrupt fucking country in Europe, I'll ask the question that I asked a couple months back. How much money would you be willing to spend of other people's money if you knew that the shit over there could have you swinging from a fucking rope? Tens of billions, right? But you'd spend a trillion, right? I mean, how much is your life worth? How much is you and your cohorts, your cronies, and especially your son and your brother who are probably involved? Maybe they wouldn't get the rope. Maybe they would just get, fucking Leavenworth until they croak. But how much money of other people's money would you be willing to spend to save your ass? So, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit that we're still giving them money. But the homeless problem isn't getting better here. The fentanyl problem isn't getting better. The illegal immigration problem isn't getting any better here. How many fucking walls could we have built with the money they've sent over to Ukraine? How many times could we have built that fucking wall? Oh my God, the $5 billion to build the wall. We can't do that. That's just way too much money. Hey, let's send fucking $80 billion over to Ukraine. Huh? Yeah, because those bad Russians. Huh? You mean the Russians that you fucked with and fucked with. You had the Minsk Accord. Okay, you had an agreement and you violated it. In America, I'm sorry, man. I love my country, but our government is fucking the most evil, corrupt government in the Western Hemisphere. Now, I don't know about the Eastern because China and Russia might be more evil than us. But I know on this fucking side of the ball, our government is the most corrupt, evil, warmongering fucking pieces of shit to ever walk this planet. But they just as soon let you fucking starve and go homeless. And we're over there instigating shit. We got our fingers in everybody's fucking pie, man. Syria. Look what we did to Libya. I mean, come on, man. Look what's going on in fucking Yemen. Nobody wants to talk about that. Ethiopia? Anybody want to? No? No? Okay. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know? Put the flag in your bio, though, right? You got that flag in your bio? How about the Qatar flag? You gonna put the Qatar flag in your bio? I mean, you know, oh, you're boycotting. You're not gonna watch. You're not gonna watch them play the kickball. You're not gonna watch them kick the kickball sport. Yeah, you know, you're gonna boycott that because they won't let the Rainbow Brigade in. Okay, okay. This virtue signaling bullshit. Okay, well, I mean, I find it fascinating, like the duplicity, the double standard, the hypocrisy that so many of us fucking suffer from over here, man. It's incredible. Like, just the shit that we'll support and the shit that we will condemn. I mean, I don't mean we. I mean some of y'all out there that, and I don't know where you're getting your information from. And then sometimes I do, and I just go, hey, they're fucking lying to you. And then if you're like, no, they're not, then basically you're telling me that I'm lying to you. And I'll ask you this. If you know me and you know who the fuck I am, ask yourself this. Why the fuck would I ever lie to you? What do I have to gain by lying to you? I tell everyone, if I don't know something, I'll tell you. I don't have all the facts, so this is what I think, but I will not stay like, oh, this is what I'll let you know. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be honest about shit because that's who I am. And I hate to be lied to. It just infuriates me because it's insulting to your intelligence, and I won't do it to you. Don't do it to me. But unfortunately, every time you turn on mainstream media news, you are being fucking lied to. They won't tell you the truth about the weather half the fucking time. They'll go on a rampage of a story, rant about political stances and beliefs on a story of high intensity, like a police shooting or something. Before the facts have all come in, they've already ran somebody through the court of public opinion and hung the motherfuckers before they even let the body cool, right? They've already attached blame to someone or a group or an ideology. It's fucking tiresome. But to finish up this broadcast, I guess, to some people out here, they think they're ready for the fight. They're not. They think they want the smoke. They don't. If you want to know who the people are that, and like Andrew Tate said, like Jordan Peterson said, a good man is a dangerous man. But he's only dangerous when he needs to be. He bridles that shit, right? He restrains it. He holds it back. He's caring and loving to the people around him that he cares for and loves. But he's dangerous, right? The people that do not want to see America devolve into civil war, Temple, I guarantee you, ask veterans that have seen shit if they want that here. None of them do. None of them do. But they'll tell you, if there's no other choice, if we have to deal with tyrannical assholes wanting to fucking come down and take our, fuck us, then by all means, they will visit. These good men will become dangerous men once again, but they do not seek it. Same thing with fighters. You see people that have been fighters, like boxers or MMA, whatever, UFC. These guys that have been in the shit and have fought and have fucked people up and have been fucked up, they'll tell you. They go out to the bars and shit. I used to hang out with UFC fighters downtown in Seattle, and I just remember the guys would go out of their way to avoid altercations. Shit went down, they moved away. They stayed the fuck out of it because they knew how to fuck people up, but that wasn't what they were there for. They wanted to be having a good time and, enjoy themselves. And you ask these people if they want the fight and the smoke, they'll be like, fuck no. But they don't want it for a whole different reason than you LARPing, worked up, indoctrinated little Kool-Aid crews out here. Y'all spoiling for a fight that you ain't ready for, kids. Okay? I know summer 2020 gave a lot of y'all the idea that you have numbers and power and all, and you're little soft, throwing bricks. Mr. Soros is leaving you bricks to throw. I know you thought, whoa, we're just badasses. Our mask and our black and our just bricks and shit and Molotovs. You're really not. You ain't scaring anybody. You might scare old people. You might scare people that fucking don't have any guts, nuts, fucking spine or mind. But you ain't scaring us. We're just restraining ourselves. So, and I pray that we can continue to be a restrained, civil, diplomatic, peaceful nation that eventually can get back to sitting at the same tables and airing our grievances and discussing things and working towards a compromise and hopefully agreeing on common goals that we can all get behind and work together and understand that we're going to have our differences, but we're still Americans. We're each other's back. We're each other's brothers and sisters, and it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're good, as long as you ain't hurting fucking children, as long as you ain't trying to fuck other people out of their stuff that doesn't belong to you. We're good, man. It's like, live your life. If the creator, if there's a judgment day and we stand before our God and answer for everything we've done, which pardon me if I call bullshit, but let's, for the sake of argument, let's say that that's the case. If that happens, you got to fucking answer. I don't have to stand there and answer for you any more than you have to for me. So we got to get past this, and some of you out there, I think, have gotten the wrong idea. You think because some of us have an issue with a certain group, and I'll tell you this right now, the LGBT community, the LG community, you're getting fucking compromised, you're being infiltrated, and you're being co-opted, and you can get pissed off and upset about this if you want. Go ahead. It's not going to change any fucking thing about the weather. There are people with sinister agendas, scumbags, okay? Just like within political parties, like in these ideological groups out here, these militias and shit, they all get infiltrated. Every group gets infiltrated. And your group, guaranteed, your organizations and your community is being infiltrated by people with sinister agendas, motives, and goals that do not fit with what your community is actually trying to express, okay? So I will say that. So stop getting so fucking personal, taking it personal and sensitive, okay? Because if you ain't one of those pieces of shit scumbags that's doing shit with kids, you know where the fuck I'm talking about here, so don't act fucking naive. If you are, then maybe you should hang out at home and learn a little more before you go out. But all I'm saying is stop thinking that because some of us have issues with those pieces of shit, like you should, that we're somehow or another pasting their fucking bullshit onto you. No, we're saying, hey, beware, these fucking scumbags are trying to use your struggle to achieve their sinister fucking agenda. Don't let them. Okay? But we have to get back to having talks, man, because what I saw last night with Kanye and Tim Pool, like I said, I knew it was coming, but it also triggered something in me that was like, yeah, see, this is where we are, America. This is where we are. And I mean, like I said, I know Kanye's under a lot of pressure, but I don't put it on Tim. I really don't. I think Tim Pool is an unjustifiably arrogant little fuck that it's just a lot of times, and a lot of times he's very contentious, and he should shut the fuck up and let the people who took time to come out to be on his show have their moment to speak and then question. But he likes to cut in and do, and it's his show, and he's going to do his show the way he does his show. But I don't think he did anything wrong last night. I was fascinated. I was psyched. I wanted to see the shit play out. But I knew, because of where we are in this country right now, it's so hard for people to have conversations anymore. This guy goes on Donna Lemon's show and gets lambasted for not condemning Trump for having Milo and Fuentes and Kanye at Mar-a-Lago. And he's just going off on this guy for like, yeah, blah, 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 and you don't tell me about struggle. I'm black and gay and blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to equate and do this whataboutisms and, well, what about my struggle, fuck your struggle, my struggle. Okay, it's just like, he couldn't even listen. He couldn't even hear what the man was trying to say because he's so full of blind hatred. That's where we are, America. Some of you are so blinded with hatred. You don't want to see the truth. You don't want to even entertain the idea that you might be wrong. And that's concerning. I know I'm fallible, and I know that I still have a lot to learn. That's the great thing about you get to a certain age, man. You see, in your 20s and 30s, you think you know a lot. And then when you get to your 40s and 50s, you realize you don't know shit. And that's called wisdom. I'm open to being wrong, but come at me with facts. Now, well, I feel like this. I don't give a fuck what you feel like. I feel like a fucking steak dinner with supermodels. Siri? Nothing, right? So I'm open to the idea of being, educated on a subject, enlightened, informed, but attacked, talk shit to. I mean, look, man, I did a public access sports talk show, the live call-in. There was no 7-second delay. It was wide open, balls to the wall, uncensored, say whatever. I've been called every fucking thing under the sun, people. I've been... so much shit talked to me before YouTube, before any of this shit. And I can tell you, you can say all the nasty fucking things you want in the comments or whatever. I don't care. I just don't care. Now, I heard a guy recently say, man, it's crazy. Like, you have people like major support, thousands of positive comments, and be that one person that says something fucked up that'll just mess your whole day up. And I went, yeah, I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. Like, if I do read the comments, I see somebody like that, I just go, meh, block. You're a bitch. I mean, if you're talking, if you're coming with legitimate, hey man, this is what I thought, or I think this, or whatever, and it's legit, it's intellectual, it's appropriate, I'm cool with that. If you're just coming like some little 12-year-old bitch in his mom's basement talking shit, trolling, little keyboard fucking tough guy, little tippy-tap tough guy, fuck out of here, man. Like, you ain't doing nothing new. You ain't doing nothing beneficial. You're not productive. You're basically a waste of space, breath, life, air, resources. I mean, you just literally, you're a candidate for cliff eating. So like I said, I don't give a fuck what your opinion of me is. You're not paying my house payment. You're not moving the decimal point on my paycheck. So, you know, keep in mind that I am always willing to have a conversation, though, a legitimate conversation, and I'm willing to be, if not proven wrong, enlightened and educated about something that I don't know. Like if something I'm not even wrong on, I just don't know. If you have information that you're like, hey, I think that he would benefit, people would benefit from having this knowledge. Man, I'm here. Like I'm an open book, bro. But the whole vitriolic, hyperbolic shit talking, man, that's just old. It's whatever with that shit. But we got to be able to talk, man. We got to be able to discuss shit. And America was founded on this. But like I said, if you in your heart of hearts really think that you're done talking and that there's no compromise, there's no, if people don't agree 100% with you, then fuck them. Death to the unbelievers and whatever they're Beavis. Then okay. See you in the street. Anyhow, folks, I gotta go eat something, man. Painted Horse is a hungry horse, and I appreciate all one of you showing up here and commenting and being a part of this podcast. Like I said, it was a snow day. I was bored, and I wanted to do something. I want to get something more regimented. So I guess today I was just kind of feeling it out, getting the OBS and everything. I want to try to mess with some bells and whistles before the next go-round. But I would like to start... Ricardo Harris. Thank you, Ricardo. God bless you, too. I would like to start doing regular podcasts or YouTube streams, if you will, at certain set times. And like I said, I'm just kind of cutting my teeth now. I'm feeling it out, trying to get all the bells and whistles worked out. If you're out there and you know how this shit works and you want to be a part of the Painted Horse production crew, I am... Please, if you're technical and you know how to do, intros and sound, and you can get me going, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch some videos on YouTube of how all these other people do it, because I know it's not as hard as I'm making it on myself. It's just I need to commit the time and focus on it to, do it and not sit here and just watch everybody else's YouTube clips, but, figure out how to do my own. I can make my own clips. And I can figure out how to do the editing, but it's the live streams here, and like I want to figure out how to get the, I want to have the news stories and all that. I want it to look nice, just nice. That's all. I just want a nice live stream. Little clouds here. Let's put a nice tree right over here. It's just a nice live stream, So. Folks, thank you very much for joining me. I will try to be back with something a bit more informative and a bit more entertaining the next time. And hopefully, maybe, possibly even have some guests with me. Other people that absolutely not at all. Right? Like, just complete strangers on here just talking shit about whatever. And I am hoping to eventually get my cousin Mickey James, all you wrestling fans out there, if you're into WWE. My cousin is Mickey James, the wrestling legend, and I'm working on trying to get her on for an interview here in the future, hopefully whenever she's available. She's a very busy superstar. And then I'd like to get my buddy Big Low, Lawrence Sandreski, Seattle's biggest sports fan, on here pretty soon too, just to catch up with him and see how he's doing. So hopefully, I'm hoping. I don't know how his world is right now, so I don't want to put any undue pressure on him. But like I said, there's a couple of people that are well known that I would like to get on the show here. So just bear with me. And I always watch these guys doing this stuff, and they're like, hey, if you want to support what I do, join my Patreon and blah blah blah. I don't have any of that shit. So if you believe in this, I guess the best thing I can ask you right now is I need numbers. I need subscribers. So if you want to share my channel with people so I can try to get some subscribers and get up to the 1,000 mark. Once I get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, I guess I get a notice from them where they blow a little sunshine up my butthole. And then I get to use this, and I can go out there and I can go live, wherever. but I have to have 1,000 subscribers, and also that kind of puts me into the monetization ballpark, and to me it would feel more, I guess, justified. Just I don't know, just legitimate if I start doing like crowdfunding to upgrade the show and whatever. Like I said, I just want to have it at a point where I feel like, okay, yeah, now is a good time. I want to take this to the next level, or I want to up my game. I'll go then, unless something happens before then, or somebody educates me on how to do that appropriately beforehand. Like I said, I'm new to a lot of this. Some of it I'm not. Some of it it's just jogging the memory, and some of it is literally learning the old dog trying to learn a new trick here, and just refreshing myself. I got to say something, man. Smartphone's been the worst thing to happen to someone like me. I used to be all about the computers, man. I've got I can't even show you that. I've got a Nitro 5. Let's see if you could. No, you can't see it. Anyhow, I've got a Nitro 5. It's got like the Ryzen card, the GeForce GTX. It's supercharged. It's a gaming computer, right? This thing is meant for me to go on and do like Fortnite and shit with people or something. But I don't. I got it because I told the person at Best Buy I want a computer that's badass that I can do streaming. So this is what I got. And the thing is that this has been so easy to work on, and just the phone, that I got dusty on the computer. Like this badass computer's been sitting here for a couple of years now, and I've done literally nothing with it other than like watch my fantasy football game scores or whatever occasionally. So anyhow, I'm figuring out all of the things that this bad little bitch can do, and going to start applying it to the YouTube stream here. I'm also working on the Rumble thing. So rumble.com, Painted Horse 9, all one word, Painted Horse and the number 9. So please, by all means, subscribe to that. I'd like to build up Rumble and start going live on Rumble, because YouTube will probably have somebody go through this video here, and they'll find something that I said that was inappropriate, inflammatory, probably violent, or whatever, which, full disclaimer, nothing I said was meant to be vulgar. Well, it was meant to be vulgar, but offensive, inflammatory, defamatory, or inciting, or encouraging the commitment of violence or bigotry or any other human atrocity, okay? It's all love. It's, as they say, all love, right? I can be angry and I can be passionate, but I'm never hateful. Understand? Like, I can hate evil, but I don't like using that word hate too freely, because that word should have an impact. It should have the punch that it's supposed to, and just throwing it out at everything. That's hate speech. That's hate. That's it. Nothing I do is ever meant to be intended to be hateful in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully, if the fact checkers or whatever those little minions are that look through this, hopefully they'll see that and realize that, see this part and realize that in no way, shape, or form was I trying to purvey anything negative, or, like I said, enough said on that. The Rumble is up. I'm also at I'm on Twitter now. Twitter, Painted Horse 999, Painted Horse 999 on Twitter. So you can add me over there if you want. If you're on the Twit. I'm not on Instagram yet. I don't have my model body quite ready yet for it, but I'm working on it. I swear. My boobies are getting bigger. So yeah, I'm not down with the gram, but if you'd like to join me at Twitter, please, by all means, Painted Horse 999, rumble.com, Painted Horse 9, and yes, 9 is my favorite number. And I thank you all for joining me. Like I said, I will endeavor to make a better stream the next time. And if you would like to work with me on this, if you'd like to be a part of it, please by all means reach out to me and let me know, because I would love to have talented, decent people who want to be a part of something awesome come work with me. All right. Love you guys. Painted Horse from the Rockstar Ranch. Thanking you for being here. Regulators, let's mount up. Let's head out.